my seventh grader, let's get through this. It says 5.6, find the selling price. Well, a store pays $8 for a pool noodle. The markup is 20%. We know we're going to use our percent equation here. Our percent equation is A equals percent times the whole. Since they paid $8 for it, that's the whole. And 20% means I'm going to move that decimal over twice. And it's going to become 0.2%. All right, so that's where the 0.2 came from. And the $8 is where the 8 came from. Now 8 times 0.2 is 1.6. And since we're talking money, that means the market price is $8. That's the original price plus $1.60, which gives you $9.60. All right, that was for number one. Let's go to number two. Number two says solve the inequality, graph the solution. If I'm going to solve this inequality, I'm going to realize that I'm going to have to subtract 5 from both sides so I can isolate my variable. I need to get x by itself, so I'm moving the positive 5. X is alone now, and I know that, let's see, 2 minus 5 would be negative 3. And so that means x is less than negative 3. All right? Let's see how we did. X is less than negative 3. On a graph, I would have a circle to represent my less than, and then I shade in all of them that are less than negative 3. For number 5, I'm going to do the same thing here with this positive 6. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides, and then that's going to give me 6 minus 6 is 0. That leaves me the W, and negative 3 and negative 6 make negative 9. So that means, oh, I'm sorry, this is less than or equal to, which tells me then that W will be less than or equal to negative 9. I guess it would have been easier just to erase all the ink. And that is going to give me W is less than or equal to negative 9. I've shaded my dot since I have an underline there and all the numbers shaded in after. All right, let's go to number 7 now. Number 7 says the table shows the balance of an account each year. What is the interest rate of the account? What is the balance after 10 years? They want what is the interest rate, that rate. Well, we should be able to go ahead and take our big number, 189, minus our small number, 175, right? And divide it by the original number. Well, 0 years came before 1 year, so that'd be 175. 189 minus 175 is 14, and 14 divided by 175 is 0.08. We have to move our decimal 2 places for it to become 8%. All right, now it says what is the balance after 10 years? So if it increases by 8%, the amount in each account is found by multiplying the amount of interest after 10 years plus the original balance. So the account balance would be 10 times 14. That's because there's an increase of 14 every time, right? 175 plus 14 is 189. 189 plus 14 is 203, and so on. So 10, that's for 10 years, times the 14 increase, right, gives us 175. And 140, which is 10 times 14 is 140, plus 175 is 315. There's $315 in the account. Number 9, we're going and using the percent equation here. It says an account earns simple interest. Actually, we're using the simple interest formula. And remember, the simple interest formula was I equals pretty. I, that's the interest, is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. All right? So when we solve this, we realize that the principal is 1,500. That'll go where the P is. The 4% is the rate, and I'd have to move that over 2 places to become 0.04, right? And then the years, that's the time, 5. So when I do this, I should have 1,500 times 0.04 times 5. That's going to give me 300. The interest, so the interest is 300. And it says find the account balance. Uh, well, we're going to add the interest to the principal. All right. And it says an account earned simple interest, annual interest. Find the interest earned. The interest was 300. Find the balance of the account. That's 1,500 plus 300, right? 300 here plus the 1,500 that initially got put in for my principal. That's going to give me 1,800. I'm sorry, yeah, then that should be 1,800. This should have had another zero there, but it got cut off. All right, let's go to number 11. On number 11, if we're looking at the principal, it would be 1,800. 6.5% means we move the decimal back 2 places. It would be 0.065. And then 30 months, well, we're going to have to put 30 divided by 12, and that would give us 2.5. Okay? And so we have 1,800 times 0.065 times 2.5. Now we're going to have to go ahead and multiply them together to get 292.50. We're going to have to take that and add it to the original amount, which was 1,800, and that's going to give us 2,092.50. So the balance is $2,092.50. On number 13, we got the principal. That's 5,200. We're going to move the decimal back 2 places, so it should become 0.736. And I beg to differ. This should have been, unless this should, I guess they meant to put 73. This, I want you to exclude number 13 because it's a misprint. Everyone's going to get that right. Because this, if we move it back 2 spaces, it should have been 0.0736, and that isn't what we have here. So we're excluding number 13 from your homework. All right, let's go to number 15. Number 15 says find the annual interest rate. If the interest is 24, we can put that in place of I. Remember, we're operating off of the formula I equals pretty. As you can see, we have the interest, that's 24. We have the principal, that's 400. We even have the years, 2 years. We're looking for the percent. So we're trying to find what the percent is. To solve this, I'll take 24 and put it as I. The 400 is the principal. 2 as the time. I know 400 times 2 is 800. Now I got to divide 800 away from R. Whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other. 24 divided by 800 is 0.03. So when I move that decimal place 2 places, it'll be 3%. All right, number 17 is next. Now, number 17, we're going to take the interest, I, in our formula. We're going to make it 54. The principal is 900. The time is 18, which is 18 divided by 12. That'll give us 1.5. Remember, when it comes to months, we need to divide them by the number of months that are in a year. 900 times 1.5 is 1,350. Now we'll have to divide that 1,350 away. And whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other. Sorry, so messy. 1, 3, 5, 0. And 54 divided by 1,350 is 0.04. When I move the decimal over twice, it'll become 4%. Number 19, we're going to take the I and turn it to 30 because that's the interest. The principal to 500. This time they give us the rate, 3%. When we move that decimal back twice, it'll be 0.03. 500 times 0.03 is 15. When we divide 15 away, we have to divide 30 by 15. And 30 divided by 15 is 2. So that's going to be account earns $30 in interest after 2 years. All right, number 21, we're going to take the interest, turn it into 54. The principal is 800. The rate was 4.5. We're going to move it back twice. It'd be 0.045. 800 times 0.045 is 36. I'm going to divide 36t by 36, which means I'm going to divide 54 by 36. This is going to give me 1.5. So when I move that decimal back 2 places, actually we're looking for the years so that it'll stay at 1.5 years. All right, let's go to number 23. Savings account earns 5% simple interest per year. The principal is 1,200. We're going to take that 1,200. Remember, 5%, when we move it back, will be 0.05. And it said the balance after 4 years, so we multiply these together into 240. Now we're going to add that 240 to 1,200, what we had as our principal. That gives us 1,440. So the new balance is 1,440. Now number 25 says you deposit $3,000. That's going to be your principal. 5.6% interest means I move that decimal back twice, becomes 0.056, right? And then I'm looking for the time because it says my interest earned was 336. That's my I. I'm going to multiply 3,000 times 0.056. That gives me 168. Then I have to divide 168 away from 168t. Whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other. So I'm going to have to take 336 and divide it by 168. That gives me 2. So the time was 2 years. 2 years. 27 says find the amount of loan paid for the loan. There's my principal, my interest rate, and my years. I'll multiply them all together. This is going to give me 2,000 times 0.12 times 3, that's 720. I add that to 2,000, that's 2,720. For 29, I'm going to have 4,800 as my principal, 0.099 as my interest rate when I move my decimal back twice, and multiplied to 4. This gives me 1,900.8, which means I'll add that to my original principal, 4,800. That gives me 6,780. Number 30, it says when we use the formula, the principal times the rate times the time, we move the decimal back twice. When I do this, this is going to be, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on 31. You guys have 30. The principal is what I'm looking for, so I'm going to leave that off and leave P there. The interest rate is 6.5, so it'll be 0.065. And then the months will be 18. That's 18 divided by 12, so that'll be 1.5. And then interest earned is 828.75. I'll put that for I. I'll multiply these numbers together. 0.065 and 1.5 equal 0.0975. Then I'm going to divide that from P. .0975. Whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other. 0.0975. And 828.75 divided by 0.0975 is 8,500. That's my principal. I don't need to add anything to it. All right, let's go ahead and look at number 33 now. For 33, I have my principal. They're looking for the rate. Okay, so my rate's going to be R. Remember, they gave me 1,800 as my principal. I have 54 months. 54 divided by 12 is 4.5. And then simple interest rate, that's going to be the rate that I made. I'll multiply 1,000 or excuse me, 18,000 times 4.5, that gives me 8,100. I'll divide this away, 8100, and divide that from there. That means I'm going to have to divide that same number from here, 8,100, actually 81,000, right? And 4,252.5 divided by 81,000 is 0.0525. So when I move that decimal back to find my rate, it's going to be 5.25 interest rate. All right, number 35, you deposit 500 into your account. Simple interest earned of 7.5 per year. That means I'll move it back twice and get 0.075. And how long will it take to get this? That means I'm going to, how long will it take for the balance of the account to be 6,500? So I have to take this balance and minus the initial 5,000 that I deposited. That's going to leave me 1,500. 6,500 minus 5,000, 1,500. The initial principal is 5,000. And remember, my rate is 0.075. 5,000 times 0.075 is 375. I'll divide that by 375 to get t by itself, which means I'm going to divide 1,500 by 375. That's going to give me 4, and remember, that's the time, so that's 4 years. Number 37 says how many years will it take for $2,000 to double at a simple interest rate? Well, the interest rate is going to be double, so that's going to be 2,000, right? Because if I double it, I'm taking the amount and increasing it by the same amount. My principal is 2,000. I multiply it to 0.08 because when I move my decimal back 2 places, it becomes 0.08. 2,000 times 0.08 is 160. When I divide 160 from both sides, 2,000 divided by 160 is going to give me 12.5. So that's 12.5 years. 38 is for you to do. 39 is for me to do. It says you deposit 500 in an account that earns 4% simple interest annually. The interest earned each year is added to the principal to create a new principal. Find the total amount. Well, we got the first year. We're going to take that $500, multiply it to 0.04, and 1 year, that gives us $20. So it makes our new amount $520. But then we got to take $520 that second year and multiply it to 0.04 times 1 year, and that's going to be $20.80. So we're going to add that to 520 to give us $540.80. And then on the third year, we're going to have to take that $540.80, multiply it to 0.04 again, and that's going to give me 21.63, which we add on and it gives us $562.43. So the amount after the third year is $562.43. 40 was for you to do. I'm done with my homework, and I'll see you in class to go ahead and grade the rest. Have a good